Hi, welcome back out to the channel. My name's Kim. I'm an East Asian medical provider and a Taoist practitioner. I'm going to talk to you about the year 2025 and how it's going to impact you from a Taoist perspective and from some of the esoteric aspects of East Asian medicine. 2025, it's a year of the wood snake. And so this year is such an incredibly strong year for inner transformation and your own spiritual development. Even if you weren't thinking about doing any personal development, I don't see that you can avoid it. Where we're going to see the most of this energy swirling around is in relationships. It could be people, it could be hobbies, it could be our pets. It's going to highlight something that's not working for you, and it's going to push you to work on that this year. If we look at what's happening, the month of February, this is a really strong month to put what you need to work on, to put it in your face. So you might be feeling emotionally depressed this month, or you might be feeling like you have this really bad case of cabin fever. Everything just feels oppressive and overwhelming, and it just keeps on building up until you start looking at the emotion that's driving that feeling of oppression and overwhelming and start to identify what that is. Because whatever that is, that's the thing that you want to focus on this year, because that's the thing that this year is going to give you the opportunity to let go. The biggest thing this year is relationships. And so as you're working through this, make sure to work with someone else. Someone else is going to help you identify what you're doing and help you get new tool sets to work through whatever it is not working for you. One of the tough parts about this year is it's going to highlight for quite a few of us where we have lost faith and trust in our own inner wisdom. And this year is a really powerful year to allow you to renew or revive that inner spiritual trust in yourself again. Here's one of the things that I've been seeing in clinic. One of the key weapons, so one of the largest societal condition weapons that I've seen that has broken down our internal faith and trust is gaslighting. Why gaslighting is so incredibly powerful is, one, it's usually used by people in perceived positions of power, but it's used so often and with so much force that first you start questioning your actions, then you start doubting your own internal beliefs, and then you start criticizing yourself for feeling whatever you're feeling. And that internal criticism can bring so much turmoil into your life, because then it says that you're wrong, and not that the situation is wrong, but that you're wrong. One of the other problems with gaslighting is part of the reason why we have so much chaos today. It is one of the key reasons that there is so much negative energy going out into our environment and creating this chaos. There's some other things that are happening in society that can make gaslighting even more powerful. It can happen so much that you don't even realize that you're being gaslit. All you know is that you feel like crap. And so whenever you get that internal sensation of feeling like crap or anxiety, the other one is when you think you're wrong, you get really anxious. Whenever you get that emotion, really think back and go, am I being gaslit? Am I being forced to think in a way that maybe I don't agree with? One other thing happens today with people who have lost faith and trust in their inner wisdom, and that is the concept of perfectionism, that being forced to do everything just to perfectionism. And I'm just going to look at school age kids today, because today, if you're in school, You have to do sports. You have to be great in grades. You have to volunteer for something in the community. You have to spend all your time showing what an amazing person you are. And that means you have absolutely zero time to figure out who you are, because everybody else is telling you who you should be. So this concept of perfectionism, super, super damaging, because it never gave you the opportunity to have time to find out who you are. So yeah, perfectionism kind of sucks. And if I think about it, when I was going to school, I had the summers all to myself. My friends and I, we hung out together all the time. So the other thing that perfectionism does is it pulls you away from friendships because you're busy, right? You're busy being perfect so you can get into college, and then you can get that perfect job, which we can see today doesn't seem to exist, right? So you're really busy and you are not building your social skills. When you're getting gaslit today, what ends up happening is that perfectionism stops you from reaching out to other people to talk about what is happening, what you're feeling when you're being gaslit, which that isolationism, that works perfectly for whoever's gaslighting you, because they want you isolated. If you're isolated, you probably won't stand up for yourself, or you probably won't rebuild your inner wisdom. How about if we spend a little bit of time talking about how this is going to map on your body? So if we look at the Taoist side of East Asian medicine, this year, the wood snake, it's all about wisdom. It is going to strongly map onto your kidney and your bladder channel. So the kidney channel, it's about your core identity. It's about what you brought into this world. It's about what you're supposed to be working on in this world. And when you lose faith in your inner wisdom, you're losing faith in your kidney channel. So you're losing faith in who you're supposed to be or who you really are. And then you have the bladder channel. And one of the key opportunities or responsibilities of the bladder channel is to create effective boundaries. That probably resonates with quite a few of you, because how many of us have incredibly ineffective boundaries? How this is going to show up in the month of February, I said the month of February is going to be a really strong month of pushing you to look at what relationships are for you and where they're just not working. So what that's going to be is you're going to be feeling really ungrounded in the month of February. You're going to feel like it's kind of oppressive, or cabin fever, like you have this horrible case of cabin fever and you just don't know what it is that you want to break out of. It's taken the time to really look at what it is that you want to break out of. One of the other things that's going to be super helpful this year, this is a year of relationships. As you're working through this stuff, work with someone else, because you're not going to be able to easily see that roadblock in your way. You're going to feel it, but you've been fighting with it your whole life. So clearly identifying it might be kind of tough. So work with somebody to help you break through and see what aspect of your relationships are really driving you down and holding you down. There's one more concept I want to share with you, which is the concept of Wu Wei in Taoism, which is effortless action. And what that means is to align with your natural flow in life while trusting your internal wisdom and allowing the world to unfold around you without resisting. Sounds easy, a lot more difficult than one would think. When we deal with other people, we have a tendency to engage in an emotional response, and all our emotional responses are about taking on the emotional baggage of someone else. So Wu Wei, effortless action, is about learning to not engage with someone else's emotional baggage, but to allow them to unfold in their world without us becoming an accomplice. Does that make any sense? So one of the ways that I deal with that, because effortless action sounds great, but it takes a ton of effort to do. I use sitting meditation especially when I'm out of balance and struggling. And I use sitting meditation to feel where I'm out of balance in my body. And I use breathing exercises to breathe into it and to breathe it out and release it. I have a number of episodes on this channel that talk to some of the breathing exercises that I use. I'll put links in the video description below because maybe one of those might help you. But that's what I've been using, is these breathing exercises to help break up the energy that's getting stuck and trapped in my body and to let that go. Okay, month of February, big month to push into your face one of the key things that's been blocking you or that has been harming your life. The month of March, which is coming up, is going to be about being able to finally turn inwards and work through that. Okay, until next time, I will catch you on the other side.